And you always want to stay with your most credible news source, JoyNews. Let's bring you some other stories away from COVID-19. The 27-year-old man who allegedly physically abused his 3-year-old son is in court today. We'll take you to court for the latest on this case. But before that, the Department of Social Welfare in the Ashanti region has taken over the case in which the 3-year-old boy has been hospitalized after his dad whipped him for bedwetting. The department is engaging the services of a psychologist to observe and counsel the victim and his mother. A social development officer for the Kumasi office of the Department of Social Welfare, Godfred Adbogo, tells Loud News the department will foot the medical bills of the victim.
We had the opportunity of speaking with the medical team, Dr. Kokotete. She's doing a very good job for the boy. We saw the lacerations, we saw the serious injuries that were caused as a result of the beating and whatever the father had inflicted on the child. So physical evidence of grievous abuse. His back was damaged. Had some swells as a result of the trauma he's gone through. The child is responding to treatment, and the child so far medically the doctor says that he is fit for discharge, but they don't want to observe it for some because they're shuttling him between the surgical ward and the children's ward. So looking at the child's situation now, since Sunday, the doctors have done a good job to at least fix whatever issue that has happened. We asked the hospital to continue maintaining whatever they are doing to keep the child stable, to keep the child on admission as well, then also to keep the child for at least a week and observe while we look at the situation surrounding it. We spoke with the mother. The mother corroborated it, but the mother sounded very disturbed because apparently the mother seems to have an idea that the guy who did that to the child wasn't mentally sound because of his previous activities and behaviors. So we were curious about that position, so we decided to also pay a visit to the Menshia Dovsu, the police station, to ascertain things for ourselves. We got there, and he admitted the offense.
Referring to
the perpetrator, that's the child's biological father who caused that injury. He admitted offense, but said he snapped. Apparently said he wasn't well, that he's a national service person. In fact, a university graduate from one of the public institutions in Ghana, and he's doing his national service in Accra. According to him, that he was not acting well, so he was advised by his HR to seek help. He thought it was a spiritual issue, so he decided to come over to Kumasi. And from his narrative, he suggests that some pastors have even prayed for him because once in a while something comes over him and he acts abnormally, and that's the reason why he was in Kumasi. And when he came, he had this son with this lady, and he decided to spend some time with the boy. He said he doesn't know what happened, even though the child had been bedwet and had been urinating in bed, but he snapped on that occasion and meted those wounds to the child. He says he regrets and he will not, given the opportunity, he will not repeat his actions again.
At this point, what decision or what support services is the social welfare promising or pledging at this moment?
So at this point, the department, through the regional director, has directed that the child should be kept at the facility for at least a week. The department is liaising with a psychologist at the Kovanochi Teaching Hospital to be brought in to speak to the child and her mother, because the mother looked visibly troubled and will need some counseling. The department has asked the hospital through the medical team not to charge medical bills in that regard, and the department is making recommendations to report to our national office so that if there any immediate assistance that may be required to assist the lady going forward, same will be done. But for the meantime, we are absorbing the medical bills. We are also keeping a close eye on this child while she remains the custody of the mother and at the hospital facility. And we are liaising with a psychologist to handle the lady and the small boy. Even though the small boy he's agile, he's responding to treatment, he's roaming around fine, but he will need to be sure because he seems to understand his environment and he speaks audibly. So whatever he's gone through, we will need to introduce the psychic part of it to see whether we can, as it were, restore him to where he was before this unfortunate incident.
And so, like I did indicate, JoyNews is in court on this very issue. We are following very keenly. We'll speak to our reporter who is there in our subsequent bulletins, but here are some details emerging from court. We know that the accused has pleaded not guilty to the charges of assault and causing harm. His lawyer has also put in a request for bail, which the prosecutor is objecting to, saying that the bail application would put the mother of the victim and the victim himself also in danger. The prosecutor says this will be a threat on their lives, will put a threat to them as well. And we understand that the accused person is in court, very calm throughout the sitting. Before then, before the proceedings started, our reporter engaged the family to find out exactly what they know, what they can say about this person. Now, the family says that he is quite a calm person, and he is also someone who keeps to himself most of the time. They notice, however, some changes in his behavior after he got an opportunity, a huge employment opportunity, and started interviews and presentation. They describe him as very quiet, keeps to himself, but also very brilliant academically. And so they are actually surprised at this behavior. And we know that the victim's lawyer is lawyer Kodria. Let's go on to the phone lines now. Erastus Asaridonko joins us. Erastus, you have been in court. You're following this very keenly. Tell us more about this person. The family is saying that he is rather calm and keeps to himself. He's pleaded not guilty. Tell us more.
Well, he pleaded not guilty, and the lawyer had tried to use the biblical transformation of Saul to Paul, indicating that if this gentleman is allowed and given a chance, he will be a saint to preach the word against abuse. But the judge then suspended sentence for a while, went to her chambers and came back. Now, what she has decided is that due to the coronavirus pandemic and the need to decongest the prison, she cannot remand the accused person, but has to give bail to the tune of 30,000 Ghana cedis with 3 sureties to be justified. And so that's the decision of the court. The guy has been given a bail, and he has been also asked to stay away from the child and his mother.
It is interesting that the lawyer is saying that if given the opportunity, his client will be a preacher against child abuse, and yet pleaded not guilty to these counts. But tell us about the demeanor of the victim, also that's the mother, and also the accused person in court.
Well, the mother is not really happy. In fact, she stormed out of the court and was very angry. I tried to speak with her. She said no. She was almost in tears and wouldn't want to speak to anybody. What the brother rather is talking to us about is that they do not believe that the lady and her child are safe once this gentleman is out there. And so they are not too happy with the decision of the court. But I have lawyer Kodria with me here. Let me try to find out. It's the decision of the court that victim and her mother are not too pleased with. What would be your take on what happened today in court?
Of course, if the mother is a caring mother, no mother will be pleased with what happened to the son. But this is a matter that borders on the liberties of an individual, named the father and the accused person herein. The law also respects the liberties and the fundamental rights of the accused person and that of the victim and the victim's mother. There were arguments from the prosecution and myself. At the end of the day, the court realized that there was some water in what I was saying. So whether she's angry or not, she can be angry because of what happened to her son, but she cannot be angry with the court.
Clearly, it wasn't perhaps because of your argument, but the judge clearly said that, well, because of the coronavirus pandemic, she wouldn't want to remand the accused person, for him to contract possibly in court. That was the reason. How do you feel about that?
Yes, it was as a result. The reason didn't come out of the blue. It was as a result of the submissions I made that might have prompted her to come out with a further reasoning. Because, you don't just send somebody to prison just because he has been accused of an offense. The best time to send somebody to prison is when the matter has been finished with, when the proof has been beyond reasonable doubt. Then you can send the person to jail.
He's not guilty. Clearly, he has also been admitting that, yes, he beat the boy. How do you juxtapose the two?
He admitted to you that he beat the boy, but in court he denied it. And that is what I'm following. As an officer of the court, I don't listen to or I don't base my arguments on hearsay. What he told you could best be hearsay. But what is on record is that he has denied that he did it. And based on the court went ahead and granted him bail.
So that's what you're going to defend next in court?
Yes. If the afterthoughts, the other acts or inactions or certain events come up, you can go ahead and then find a way of settling the matter. Even though, because let's not forget, there's a father, a son, and a supposed girlfriend mother in this matter. So it's a sort of family affair. We can find our way out when he decides to make overtures to the other side. But in court, the facts are that he pleaded no guilty.
So Lawyer Kodia there speaking to us, he's counsel for the accused person.
We had the prosecutor read out the case in court. Are the facts any different from what we know, from what you have reported, or are there is there any extra information that has come up in court?
No, clearly those are the same facts that were given in court, except the age of the accused, which was given as 25 instead of 30. Aside the age, clearly the facts of the case are just as we have reported it. That was how the prosecutor said it in court. So currently we are waiting for the family to meet the bail bond. So the suspect is still in there, inside the courtroom, handcuffed. And the family is also looking at ways to get, to meet the bail bound. 30,000 Ghana cedis with 3 sureties. That is the bail sum.
When is the next court sitting?
A week today. So we are talking about 21st of this month. And the judge stated that she wants this case dealt with immediately. And so she's asked the prosecutor to furnish the court with all the necessary documents. And if by the said date, when they meet, the prosecution has done its job, she wants to go ahead straight away and deal with this particular case. Erastus,
just before you go, the mother of the boy has been speaking to you. Can you share with us what she said?
In fact, she could not utter a word to me. She was in tears. And she told me that she, like, from her demeanor, she did not like what happened in court. And her brother is the one who is telling me that her sister feels unsafe with the gentleman out there, and she feels that this gentleman can do something to her at any time. That's what the brother has been telling us.
And finally, I understand that the court is adhering to social distancing strictly.
I can tell you that you see the long queue in court. 3 people sit on that long queue, nothing more, nothing less, and the other people will have to sit outside. The judge herself is in a nose mask, and all other officers in the court are also in a nose mask. Strict enforcement of the social distancing and face mask protocols.
Erastus, thank you very much for bringing us up to speed on this case, and definitely I know you are following this. We'll bring listeners up to speed. We have more on this for you at midday. We're taking a break here on News Text. We'll return with more stories.